My name is Andreas Olofsson, and I'm the executive producer for Candy Crush Saga.
Can you talk about the evolution of this game dating back to the origins on PC?
Absolutely. So I was on the original team, actually, who built the game from the start. Started in 2011, in October. Built the game in 5 months, 7-man team who built it. We had 65 levels at that point. Now we're up to 5,000. It's kind of a big change. I think we had 2 or 3 game modes at that point. Now it's 7, 8. Maybe 3, 4 in-game features. Now we kind of have around 30. So a lot of stuff has happened. We've kind of built more social features around it. We built a lot of more meta features that kind of helps the progression in the game as well. So it is developed in all types of directions. So it's really a completely different type of experience now.
When it came to the origins, can you talk a little about what you guys were trying to do at the very beginning?
So we're trying to make a really solid match 3 game. I think what maybe stood out, I think, was the fact that you can, like in most match 3 games, you can kind of create specials. I think what stood out for Candy was the fact that you can also mix specials. Like I think that was one of the big things, and putting that also in a saga where it wasn't like a one-session thing, but actually is something that you could progress into. I think was what we're trying to do, and I think we did a fairly good job. So happy.
Technology is always advancing when it comes to video games. How you guys kind of rolled with that and improved not only the new levels of the games, but gone back to some of the older levels of the games.
So yeah, okay. So there are a few different things there. Like we started out on Facebook. During this time, like mobile games started to become big as well. So like fairly recently after we launched on Facebook, we started building a mobile version for the game as well. Just trying to follow where the players go with the different platforms that are interesting. When it comes to levels, like obviously when we started out, the levels we built at that point in time was out of a certain quality. Nowadays, I think we've learned a lot. So we continuously try to tweak our levels to make sure that they're as good as possible, and that goes for all features in our game. So we constantly tweak, making sure that we get a better game.
I understand when you guys first started, you were doing as many as 50 levels a week, and now it's 30. Can you talk a little about what happened there in terms of was there more that goes into a level today versus back in the day?
I don't think we did 50 levels per week back in the day. I think at that point we released 15 levels every second week. Now we're up at 30 levels per week. So we actually produce more now than we used to back in the day.
Okay. When it comes to the 5,000th level, can you talk a little about some of the new elements you guys have put into that to celebrate this celebration?
So yeah, I think it's more. I think the celebration is more around the fact that we have 5,000 levels. I don't think a lot of games come to that point. So I think the celebration has a lot around that. We're gonna have an in-game event basically where we're highlighting some of our Millennium levels, like 1,000, 2,000, up to 5,000. And the theming around it is going to be like a garden party where one of our main characters in the game, Tiffy, is hosting a garden party, and then you get a new level every day, starting with level 1,000, and then on the last day you get to play level 5,000. It's open for all players in the game, so it's also a chance for people early in the game to actually see what's coming, which is I think it's a fun thing for our players.
What goes in general into like a 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 levels you guys approach those milestones?
So we usually try to make some kind of special level. Like if you can write, I think in level 2000 we're written with color bombs 2K, for instance. I think we try to do something special for them, like both layout-wise, but also like in terms of how they feel to play. So we try to make something like stand out, or make something that is out of the ordinary for those kind of levels.
How do you differentiate and continue this franchise as other sister franchises have blossomed around this game?
I think you always have to continue to be creative and innovative in a way, which is not hard. Well, it is, which is very hard, I would say. but it's that challenge, right? Like you need to continuously come up with new things and think about it. We try to do it in smaller teams and like try to have very creative sessions where we come up with new kinds of crazy ideas. But I see, like going forward, I see us providing a lot more new and different experiences to the game. I mean, we have a 10-year view on this game. We look 10 years into the future and see where we want to be there.
When it comes to the studio itself, I've understood from other discussions that some people cross-pollinate. They'll start over with you guys and move over to France. How does that open up collaboration as you guys are pushing forward and other games are doing other things?
Yeah, that's true. Like usually when we start a new game, we take a few from the original game or take someone from the other games, so they have Candy experience. Then you have already natural connections between the game, right? Like so, some of them, your old colleagues are now working on a sister title, right? And so you have that connection already. Myself, I moved through. I worked in Candy, and then I moved over and built Jelly, and then I moved back to Candy again. So like I know a lot of Jelly people. So that helps with the collaboration, right? Like so some of the challenges we had there, talking about those with other teams, it's really helpful when creating a game because it's hard.
You guys are a global studio. Obviously, we're here in Stockholm, but how do you feel having teams and having developers around the world helps with the success of this game around the world?
I think it's a good thing to be able to leverage other studios as well, helping out with Candy. From a way of working perspective, it is a bit more tricky, but it's also gives you an ability to engage a larger workforce to help out with the game. So I think it's in general, I think it's a really good thing.
How, if anything, have things progressed since Activision Blizzard came in?
Like from my perspective, not much at all. Like we work in the same way as we've always done. Small teams trying to build really fun, cool experiences. So not much.
They have a lot of background when it comes to PC and consoles. Does that impact anything at all when you guys focusing so much on the mobile and casual spaces?
Like from the game I work in Candy, no, not that much. I mean, our core is on mobile, so that's where we put a lot of our time and effort, and we have a lot of experience there. So not that much, no.
What do you feel separates this original game from anything else out there in the mobile space?
I think I mentioned it when I talked about when we built it in the beginning. I think the fact that you can mix specials is one thing. I think the theming around Candy is another thing. I think the more nostalgic game board world that we built is a third thing. And I think that stood out early, I think, was the fact that we had we were cross-platform fairly early, so you can play on Facebook and then you can have the same progress when you went to mobile, right? So I think a lot of those are the main things I think that stands out in the competition in a way.